Hello and welcome to my channel Making Crafts. In the last video I showed you how I was working on my altered book and I got all the pages torn out and the pockets designated for how they're going to be. Well, in this video, the next video, I was going to show you decorating the pages, but I realized that I want to stencil, I want to stamp, and so on some pages, and that's going to be really hard to do in this book. So because normally I work on my pages before I sew them into my book. So I decided I'm going to make a stamping stencil writing board before I continue with the book. So all I've done is this is a piece of chipboard that was left over from when I made a mini album or some other project. And so I just took the scrap chipboard, and it's not exactly the same width as the book, but I felt like when I stick it in here, let's just pretend like I'm sticking it on the page here. Sticking it in here, I thought that it was perfect for this book size. And so I think that'll be all I need. So I'm going to just cover it. I could use it like this. Of course, you could just use this chipboard and go on with it like this. But since I'm going to be using it to work on this book, this journal for quite a while, and then I'm also going to be using it to, later on when I'm using it as my December daily, I thought I should go ahead and have this board prettied up. So I want to make it pretty. But at the same time, when you're making one of these, you don't want to make it have any, put dimensional things on it. You don't want it to rock back and forth, because the purpose of this board is to be smooth so that you can stamp, write, and stencil in your journal. I had just a little piece left over my chipboard that didn't get cut well. So I was just smoothing that off and while I was discussing it. And so I wanted to decorate it up pretty. So I'm just going to put some cardstock on the front and back. And so I've cut this board down, and it's a little longer than the book because I wanted it to stick out so I can easily find it. And so then I've just cut the cardstock down to fit the chipboard. And I'm making sure I did cut this one down right. And so my chipboard is 5 inches wide. So that's what I'm cutting my paper down to, is 5 inches wide. That one is just a slither too wide. So now I'm just going to decorate it. And so what I did was I chose some cardstock from a paper pack that I had. Now after I chose this one, I realized it did have a little bit of glitter here and there, and you can feel the texture, which I love on paper, but for this it wouldn't be so good if you were stenciling. But after I really wanted to go with this piece, I decided to go ahead and put it on there because I can always turn over to the smooth side. So be sure that you are paying attention to your cardstock, because you don't want anything that's got indentations or anything, because once you were stenciling, those indentations might show through. And so I am going to use Christmas paper for this one because it's going to be kept with this journal. So now I'm just going to cover the chipboard with my glue. And you know what? I'm going to do the edges, my art glitter glue. But then down the middle, I'm just going to use my, I'm not sure what you call this, well, I call it ATG gum. I know that's what you call it, or ATG, but I'm not really sure what type of tape you call it. It's like double-sided tape. And it's starting to unroll wrong. It keeps coming off the, that is my hardest thing with these, is getting them loaded correctly. Okay, so now I'm just going to add my cardstock to the chipboard. This is a very simple project. And I should have realized, I forgot that it wasn't movable tapes, movable glue. I forgot that it wasn't wet glue. I'm so used to using wet glue that I just stuck it down without even thinking. So I want to attach it to the top edges first, since I am using the tape. And then, because it's going to stick immediately with that tape. There we go. And then I'm just going to smooth it down. It's not lined up right. Let me see here. I may just trim it off a little bit more instead of worrying about it. So then I'm just going to go around the back here, and I'm just going to add tape on the whole thing, because I think this tape will hold it really good. It's just that this tape gun is kind of hard to use. I have to press really hard to get it to come out, and I'm not sure. I like using this ATG for easy projects like this. I am going to go back and I want to line all this up perfectly. And you can hear one of my dogs in the background. She's fussing. I'm not sure what's wrong. May have to pause for just a second and figure it out. So I've just got a little bit of chipboard hanging over right here. I'm just going to take my X-Acto and trim it down. Okay, so I got that trimmed off there. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to have a good little writing board. And so that's just a simple little project that we can make to go along with our journal. Just got some, just going to try to clean those edges up a little. And now I've caused a little bit of white to show, so I've just got some red ink here, so I'll just ink that back. Actually, I'm going to trim it with my X-Acto again. Okay, so there we go. Let me just get through this part right here. That was easy. Okay. So there we have very easy, very simple little writing board, stamping board, stenciling board, whatever you want to call it. And so it's very simple little project to put together. And I know that I'm sure there's more extravagant ways to do these, but I just wanted something simple to use in my altered book. So now let's get started on decorating this book up. So I'm going to tear most of the pages when I cover them, but for the front to inside, I'm going to do this Merry Christmas, and I'm not going to tear it. I'm going to cut it with my paper trimmer. So let me trim those white edges off, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut the white off of these pages, but now I have made myself two templates. This is for a regular page, and this is for the inside covers. And so I want to, I'm just going to turn this on the back side, and I want to make sure that I cut this one down to match this page. So I'm just going to put a mark here and a mark down here. And so that's what's going on the inside cover. Well, the other side is, the red is. But I just want to cut it down so that it matches. It'll just have a little border around it. And then I need to get my ink out because I do want to ink around each, because I kind of want to make it rustic. So that looks good, and so I need to cut another one just exactly the same. Let's see what this measurement is. I'll just mark it again because it's a little, it's one of those in-between fractions, and you know me, it's hard for me to keep up with those. So I'm just going to mark it here. So we got mark right here, and then again at the bottom. Okay, and we'll just trim it off. And we'll save the other side because those little strips can come in handy when we're decorating up our journal or making journaling cards or anything. So that is very pretty. And see that green with this red? This cover is going to be so pretty. I hope it is anyway. I'm thinking it will be. Okay, so I'm hoping for a pretty cover. So I'm going to put that there and then this one here because I like this red. So I want to find, I keep saying so, I'm sorry about that. I keep repeating myself. I think that's what I say when I'm really thinking hard. I want to use, I'm trying to decide what color ink. I'm thinking I want to use the chocolate chip. I think that's what I want to use for this. Let's just see. I don't know if I want to go through and ink every page that I cut. I'm not sure. This one, it's not really showing up that much. It's a little bit. It's a little framed brown line around it. And you know, I don't know that I'm going to stick with the brown the whole time. I may add some red and green. Since it is Christmas, we could add red and green. This one, I don't think either one would show up, red or green, so I think it's best to go with the brown. And then I want to stencil this page. Well, not stencil, oh my goodness. It's going to be one of those nights. I want to ink this page. It is Friday evening, and I'm working on this right after supper because this is what I wanted to work on this weekend. Everybody else is in the house working on their own projects or out in the studio working on their projects. So I thought I would work on this. And I'm not sure how I'm going to ink that part. Just get a little bit of brown there. Won't be much, will it? That's okay. You'll see a little bit behind the, like that, yes. So that looks good. So let's just add that red. Or I was thinking too, I could do one side red and one side with the green. That may look better. Let me cut this green and we'll see. Okay, so I went ahead and cut down these two sheets because I do want to use two different colors, and then I'll do the same colors on the back. So let me just add some of my glue. Okay, so my dogs just heard me rub this glue across the paper, and it kind of made a noise, and now they think something's here. So they're going to fuss for just a second. They are so silly. Okay, so just going to press that down, and then we do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now, oops, don't want to set it down too soon. This glue sticks fast. I just want to kind of center it up and get all this. I want these two sheets to kind of line up to match. And maybe I should bring out my little board here. It may help me to press down on them. Since I have all those paper clips behind me, that does help. Okay, so I think that looks good. It's not totally lined up, but it's fine. Okay, this is an altered book. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? So for this page, I'm not quite sure yet. But for this one, what I wanted to do, and that's why I made this board here, is I have it's a snowflake stamp. But I'm going to stamp it with red ink. Let me find it. I'm going to use this red geranium archival ink. And I'm just going to, that's why I wanted this board in here. I'm going to stamp around the page. And I think I'm going to turn it to this side. And I want to just stamp randomly around the page. And then I'm going to put a title on it. I have this cut out already. And I think that'll make a really good title for the book. So let's just start stamping. And I'm okay stamping off on my, I'm okay with stamping off on my board. I don't think I want to stamp off that much though. And we have plenty of scrap paper because we, you know, we tore all these pages out. So let's use them underneath here too. Pull this down so I have some room. And then I will just stamp like this. There we go. And then I'm going to push the board back up. And I'm just going to stamp around randomly, probably on this edge for now, so that I can stamp off on this. So let's see, I'm going to stamp there. And maybe we need one right in there. And we could use one right in here. Oops, that's okay. That's okay. Maybe one here. It is missing the middle on most of them now, isn't it? It's just where it is in the book. Just going to have to press really good. That's fine. So then, this is going to go here. Might need just a little bit, I don't know. What if, now I'm probably gonna get too tricky and mess up. I'm gonna put this here, and then I just want to stamp like off right in here. There we go, that's fine. So then I'm going to pull the Merry Christmas down like that, and I think this will be good. Maybe right there. So I'm just going to add that. And I will link below to the kits that I'm using. It is an affiliate link with the Creative Fabrica, but it doesn't cost you any extra if you were to go through that affiliate link and you were to make an account, or if you go through the affiliate link and just buy these kits. It's not going to cost you anything extra, but it does give me just a little bit of a bonus, and I forgot to ink the edge of that, but it does give me just a little, I get a little bit of money to support my channel, but it's not really a lot, it's just a few cents, but every little bit helps, I think. Okay, so that glue did not stay down. So I'm going to try something. If it messes up, I'll just cover the whole page up. But I want to see if I can find a fine point here. You know what? One of my favorite ink pens I may could just use. It was over here. Right here it is. I just want to have it darker around the edge. That's not working as good as I wanted, so let's try this. That is not working like I want. I have another option. Okay, so I'm going to use this charcoal pencil, and I'm just going to run along the edge here. And you can just, I like to smudge it up with my finger. That's what I'm going for, like that shadow effect. Okay, so I'm going to try not to get so messy with this on my fingers, so I'm going to use this Q-tip. I couldn't find I have an art tool that will smudge it, but I couldn't find it, so we're just going to use this. And I want that to be smudged down in there, so I'm going to go back with this one. I do want that shadow effect, so I'm trying to smear it a little bit more. Get that shadow along the bottom and this side here. Now I'm going to do quite a bit of different things with this journal that I don't do with my with this altered book versus what I do with my journals, because I just want to try some things with it. Just trying to get a shadow around that. I like that. I like that for the beginning of the book. So now let's just turn this one over, and our stamps did show through, so we're going to have to cover that up, and then we're going to cover this page up. So for this page, I got lots of paper, so I did fussy cut some things out. I'm going to set those aside, and I'm going to set this stamp aside, and let's see what papers I have. Okay, so here's my stencil this is for the inside cover, so where's the one? And this one's for the regular pages. So now, it's going to be that height, and then I just need to tear the white edges off. and then I'll use it. This is an odd size book, so that's the only problem I'm going to run into, I think, with my pages, because they're going to just have, they're not going to be totally full. So let me see how that goes. But I like the shape of this book, but I'm now wondering, I'm going to have a lot of frame around it. But I think that'll be okay. Okay, so on this page, I want to use this plain one, so I'm going to cut that out. Okay, so I'm going to add this page and this one, and both of these are from the Paper Princess, but I will link below to all the kits so you can see. Because I am just going to use a variety of kits, and I don't remember the name of this kit, so I just went through and downloaded a bunch of kits today, and then I went through and decided, okay, which ones am I printing out? And I didn't even print the whole kits. I just printed pages from each kit that I thought would work together for my book. So there we go. I like inking it because it seems to frame the pages out. And I like using my tear and roller because it kind of gives a little bit of a design to the edges. Kind of adds to them, I think. Let's see here. I think that would be good there. And then we'll put this one over here. How would this look beside it? That's too busy. I need something a little more plain beside it. Maybe this little piece would be good beside it. Or a red piece. We already used the Merry Christmas. Let me see here. How would that look? That would actually be pretty beside it. I think I'll do it that direction. This is going to be a long project. It'll take several days to complete. So I'm going to put that right there in the center. And I did order a glue stick, but they haven't come in yet. So I ordered a whole pack of glue sticks. They haven't come in yet, so I'm having to still use my art glitter glue. But I kind of wanted to use a glue stick on this. Just kind of center it up and down and side to side. There, I think that looks good. I've had this paper trimmer for years. I don't know if they still make it, but it does some little wavy pages. I have to remember how to switch it. Let's try that instead. Maybe that would be more fun than the straight edges, but not as stressful as tearing, because when I'm tearing, it just feels like I'm making a mess of it tonight. I can't seem to tear straight. So let's try that. What I think I'm going to use, if I can find it, I think I'm going to use this on one side and this one on the other. So I just need to trim these down. So first I'm going to cut the white edge off, and I have to see where this goes. Get everything lined up straight too. Let's see what that edge looks like. That's a little good edge. That's a good little design on that edge, I think. And since it was stressing me to tear them, if something like that's stressing you, you know, you might as well try something different, because if you're not having fun, it's not worth stressing over. It's supposed to be, crafting is supposed to be our therapy. So let me see, I'm just trying to line it all up. I'm having to learn where this one cuts. I'm cutting a little further over than I plan to. That's okay. I think it should be fine. It wasn't enough to hurt the height of the page, I don't think. So now, I'm just going to have to mark it here. And then, let's see if we line that up like that. Ooh, it is going to be a little short now where I cut that off. We'll have to see. We shall see. Okay. We will see if it looks okay. Yes, I think that will be fine. So now let me cut this one. I do love the edge that the paper cutter left on these. I do have to remember not to go, you're supposed to only go one direction one time. I'm used to going back and forth with my other cutter, paper trimmer, and so that's not good for this because you're cutting this design in it. I was holding it to my face. I don't even know if you could see what I was doing, but I don't know if you can even see the design. I'm trying to ink it. I'm thinking, there we go. That ink didn't really show up. So let me switch back to the chocolate chip. See if it'll show up a little bit better. I think that is better. Okay, so I'm going to put these on here like this, but I'm going to use my ATG because I had ordered my glue sticks. I think I mentioned that already. I had to pause this video, so I don't remember what I already told you and what I haven't. So if I repeat myself, I'm so sorry. But I had to pause and reload this, and so I don't even remember what I was talking about. So what I'm going to do is use this because I wanted to use glue stick on this, and I will once they get here. But I ordered a whole pack of, well, I'll use it for some parts. I'll still use my art glitter glue for other parts. And I've got paper everywhere getting them, everything. But I ordered some glue sticks, but things are shipping a lot slower from Amazon lately. And it's going to be 10 days before my glue sticks get here. So, and I even have Prime, so that doesn't make sense. I guess it's the holiday season or just a shortage. I don't know. So I'm going to use this glue because it does hold really good. I used to use this all the time on mini albums and different things, and it holds pretty tight. So I'm going to just use it on this. And this is a book for me anyway, so if anything comes loose, I can always add glue. And because I really want to focus on just decorating these pages up tonight. Okay, for these two pages, I'm going to skip these two. I've gone ahead and cut out these two that I'm going to glue here, but I'm going to hold off because first I want to do something a little different. I feel like I've covered enough pages and I'm getting bored with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to collage, and I am going to use my tearing ruler for this if I can find it, or I can just tear it with this. So I'm going to just collage up these pages, and it'll add a little bit more interest than what's going on with just covering them with solid. And I did say I'm struggling with tearing tonight, but I'm going to try to just frame it out here like this. So I need one that's got a straighter edge on this side though. So yeah, and then I'm just going to tear right here. Here's my tearing ruler. I want to use it for the edge. Okay, so there, I can just stick that one right here. And so I'll have the page framing it out. So let's just add some art glitter glue for this. I love collage, so I have to add it in whenever I can, because it's one of my favorite things to do. And I was getting a little bored with covering all the pages with just plain paper. And I know I added some pockets. Well, no, I've only added a pocket here. The rest, and so I was getting a little bored with that. So I said, let's try something different. Well, I thought to myself, I really didn't say it. I thought, you know what, I want to try something different. I want to do, and I'm not going to make a bunch of small pieces here to collage with. I'm just going to collage with some larger pieces just to get some interest on these pages. And I might just tear, I'm going to square, these are more squared up using my tearing ruler, but I may do another page and just tear by hand and not worry about the shape. Okay, I'm just using some bits and pieces from what that I've already used on other pages. I'm just using some. I'm going to cut that with this because I can't get it torn correctly. So I'm just going to add the little edge with it here. Just doing a little bit off because I need this to stay quite this width. So just taking a little off the edge. I don't want the edge straight, so this will help. And the bottom is already torn, so I was thinking of putting it there. I think that's too much. Maybe I'll just put it down here and tear. That might be good right there. And then we'll add something else above it. May have to pull out some more pieces. Uh-oh, that's not fitting good. I do want it all to leave just a little border there of the book page. What else have I not used yet? Maybe we'll do this one along the bottom. But then everything's going to be maybe like that. About like this as well. Go right here. Move it up just a little bit to match the border at the top. Now, what else do we want to add to this page? So we'll tear this one down and add it, kind of like that. So I don't need a big piece, I just need a small piece to fit right in here. Maybe just a little smaller so it doesn't cover up as much of that little red piece. Oh, we'll have to go down here now because I made it too small. Maybe I'll just try a different one. Okay, so we're going to do it like that. I think that'll be cute. So I like how that turned out. I may add some decorations to it. I haven't decided. I could add like a pocket here, or I could just add something in here. Let's just see. That might be pretty, this little die cut. Or here's a little girl I could add. Got this wreath. If I add her there, I feel like I need something more. Got the plant. I think I'm missing a leaf off the plant though. Here it is. I can just glue that to the page as well. I think that's how I'm going to decorate this one up. I'm just going to add some interest to this page. So I think that is a great stopping point, and I'm really liking how this is turning out. And in the next video, we will continue to decorate it. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.